Hello, this is John. We're here at my family party today. That's where I always am, I guess. But we're going to talk about this guy right here, this Arrieflex 16S. It's a 16mm film camera that I just picked up. Well, I've had it for a while, but I haven't had the chance to put any film through it. So we're going to see if we can do that today. Maybe run 100-foot roll today to test and then send it off. We're going to probably shoot the Ektachrome 100. It's a reversal film, but this is the film here. This is the Ektachrome 100. It's a 100-foot spool of film. It runs for about 3 minutes. So you only get about 3 minutes of film off of this. But with film, it's not so bad. You think, I've always been curious about that. I mean, you think that 3 minutes ain't very much, but then when you actually look at the film back, it's like it lasts quite a while, it seems. So it just depends on how you shoot it, I guess. These cameras were actually made in about the 1950s. Arrieflex come out with these, and they have what they call a pull-down pin in them. And what that does is that when every time the frame's pulled in, it has a pin that goes in and actually steadies the picture. So the pictures on these are rock steady. And what I've got it mounted up with right now is I've got 3 lenses. I've got a wide angle 10mm, and then I've got over here, I've got a 50mm telephoto, and then I've got a 25mm, and what they're equivalent to is the 25 is like a 50 on a normal 35mm still camera. The 50 would be like a 100mm on a still camera, on a 35mm still camera, and then the 10mm would be like about a 20. And then I've got my matte box here, and what I'm able to do with this, I can't ever find any filters. These are 49mm filters, but they don't screw in, they don't fit. I don't know why. So I've been able to get this to where I can put the filter in if I need to, and then I can close this up and then it'll hold the filter in. Hey, I was just gonna say on this camera too, this camera actually has reflex viewing. This is my little granddaughter.
She's obsessed with you.
She likes the eggs. But it has a reflex viewing, so what you're seeing through the viewfinder, you actually see through the lens, which makes it really, really nice. My other camera, my Filmo 70 that you've seen before in my videos, that doesn't have through the lens viewing. You just have to kind of guess. Nice thing about the 10mm though is I can set that one to about 6 feet, and everything's in focus no matter where I am, because the depth of field on that lens is so deep. Whereas if you go to the 50mm, then you got to be a little more critical on focus. And the 25's not too bad either. It's pretty decent as far as, but the 10mm is a good one if you just want to run and gun. You don't have to worry about focus as much. So anyway, we're going to get ready to load this thing. Load it with a roll of Ektachrome 100. This is a reversal film, like I was saying, and so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we open up this, set this down. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this reel out for now. Now this is, it's always talked about you can load this in subdued light. It's not gonna hurt anything to load this in the daylight like this. The only thing you want, I like to do is I just don't like to spin out too much film. I like to try to.
Those are dead. Those are fake.
So anyway, and then what it does is it goes in a 9 position. So in other words, a 9 position. Like that with this is single perf film, so the sprocket holes go down. So then what we do is we pull this film out just a little bit, and then we open up, we run it, we pop this open. That's the, and then you get this in there, to where it's catching, and then you bring this around. You have to open the gate. This is the gate, this film gate, and then this is the motor so that we can drive the motor. And you see this pin, that pin comes out right here. There's this pin. It comes out. If you look at it, it goes in, and then it actually, see, it goes in, and then it actually comes back out. Is it focused? Okay. And then, so then what you got to do is you got to put this in. You got to get it behind. You got to get behind the. I got to get this out just a little bit. There we go. Get it. You got to get it behind, and then make sure your loop's up there. And then you got to kind of line up with one of your sprockets. You got to kind of hard sometimes, but you got to line up with one of your sprockets. Okay, so then now that's back in, and now you can close the gate, and then you can take and run this back up here. Now you got to make these white lines is where you got to have the film going, so maybe just a little bit that way, and then we'll close it up, and then we can just run it just a little bit, and then once it's ran, then we can take the take-up reel, take the take-up reel and put it back up like that, and then we just run it just a little. This one might want to bring this one back just a little bit. It's probably okay. So then that's closed. Okay, and then what you do is you just go ahead and put the cover back on, because now only this much film has actually been exposed to light. So now we close it, and then on the back of the camera, there's looks like we're already set to 0. So that's we set this to 0 right here. If you go like this, and then so when we go just to 0 like this, and then what we can do is we can actually just run the film a little bit, just to get it past there, and then we're basically ready to shoot. And then we have our light meter. We have to have a light meter to tell us which aperture to set. This is set for 100 ISO film, which is what this film is. And then it's got the 180-degree shutter, which is what this camera has, and it's shooting at 24 frames a second. And so then all we do is take a light reading, and it's a f4 right in this area right now. You go this way, then it's a little bit open, because you got kind of a more backlit. So you go this way, it's f4.
We actually ran out of glue.
So then we just put this back in its case, because when we're done shooting, we'll pull the film out and we'll put it in there, and then there's this sticky thing here, and then we put exposed on it, and then we send this back to Dwayne's photo. And this is actually projectable, so I can actually put it in my projector and project it. I can get it scanned too, but this roll, I think all I'm going to do is just have it developed, and then we'll project it with my projector at home. So anyway, so we'll just start shooting a little bit here and there. Hang on, yeah, go ahead. I just gotta be able to see.
Redo that. He wasn't ready.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Woo! Rexy, say hi.
Rexy. fun there. I'll take a smoothie at you guys.
This is your order.
Ready? Okay, so we just got done shooting around with this 100-foot roll of Ektachrome. I'm hoping it turns out. We'll send it in tomorrow to Dwayne's, and then we might have them scan it too, because they actually can scan. It's not a high quality scan, but it'd probably be good enough for the video. So anyway, we got to unload the camera. So what we do is we got to open the lid now, and now the film is all on this roll here now. So before I do that, let me get this out. I'm gonna get this out, this tape out. And the thing you got to be careful with is you don't want to pull it out and have the film. I think that's the end of it right there. So just put this back on. Whoa. That's what you don't want to happen, but it's not a big deal because it's just the end of the reel. Put this back on like this somehow.
If it unrolls, it will.
Yeah, if it unrolls, if it started to spiral out, yeah, you could start to expose the film, but it's only exposing the very end right now. So then we just put this back on, put this back in, slide it back in, and now we take this and we undo the tape. This is the sticky part again. So then we go like this, and then that way it can't be opened. And then what I'll do is I'll get a marker and I'll mark this as exposed. And then this is the tape, this is the reel that it came off of, and it just goes back over here on this side, and then we can just close this back up. Well, one thing I've noticed, you know, with film, and this is probably a cliche, a lot of people say this, but it does slow you down and it does make you more intentional. I know with a video camera you kind of turn it on and it kind of rolls, but then if you think about it, it's kind of hard to edit that stuff sometimes because you're not stopping, whereas if you're thinking of shots, shooting those shots, then a lot of times you've actually got it almost edited just because you've taken the time. And I've noticed even with a 100-foot spool or even a Super 8 cartridge, you go and look at it and you think, wow, that's on there for quite a long time, you know. So it does make you more intentional, and I do love it for what it is. And you know, it's expensive. It's an expensive hobby. It's expensive to shoot this stuff, but then again, you don't shoot as much, and so you are more. You know, you don't use as much, but a lot of times it's not the quantity, it's the quality. So anyway, I think I like this camera. It's kind of heavy to shoot. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be when I started actually shooting it today. It actually is not too bad. I mean, the only thing you got to be careful too is this here. When you got the wide angle lens on, you don't want this up here too far, or else the lens will actually see this. So you have to. I just looked through the viewfinder and I pulled this back to where that cleared, because otherwise you would actually see this. I did a video one time for my daughter, and I had a big lens on there, a telephoto, and then I had a wide angle, and he ended up seeing in the corner the wide angle, or the telephoto lens was sticking in the corner. So you got to kind of watch those kind of things. But I guess that's what you do. You learn. You do something wrong, and then you learn and don't do it the next time, and then you might do something else, and then you learn from that. So it's just how it is. But I love film, and I always will. I've always always had the hope that it'd stay around and kind of knew that it would. Where are we going? Where are we going? This is Brexy. This is Brexy. We're pals, huh?
But he got paid out.
Yeah, we're pals.
Can you see pals?
Yeah, we're pals. So anyway, I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.